Museum at the ancient city of Zophar and the ancient city of Al-Balid will be one of the featured tour points that we'll spend probably a good half a day here because it's so huge. I will be taking you to the largest and oldest frankincense tree in the world. This tree is believed to be somewhere between 750 and 950 years old.
How many hours? 16 hours.
This by caravan will take 6 hours. The lost city in the desert, Ubar. Many of you have heard me talk about Ubar over the years since my discovery in 1996. You'll get to see the frankincense warehouses, storerooms, as you can see them here. We'll take you to the warehouse at Wadi Mainoun, 2500 BC. These were all warehouses where the resin would come from the mountains and the caravans and be stored until the main caravans buying up the goods would take them east, west, and north. Frankincense Caravan Fortress and Way Station, Wadi Andur, which John and I found, and was believed to have been nothing more than a legend until this time. John and I were both told by the Minister of Tourism, Antiquities, and History that this fortress did not exist. It was only a legend. I spent 16 years looking for it. This is one of the main caravan way stations in Oman, and this building here was the pharmacy, or what we would call the pharmacy building. Right here where Cole is standing, there are the remains of 4 extraction chambers there. This is one of them, frankincense distillery. There's 3. The 4th one here, it slid off the mountain. And then I went back a year later and we discovered 4 more on the opposite side of the mountain. Incredible place. Fort Sum-Heram, 25 BC. When I took Mary here in 1996, this did not exist. It was just one big mound of sand. And here you see the frankincense distillery chamber again. This is the Eye of the Needle, where the caravans would come to the east side here, and the ships coming in, they would come through this port here when the tide was high, because there's a reef here, so it protected ships from coming all the way in. They could only come in during the time of when the tide was high. They had sentries mounted here on each side for guarding and protecting and watching for pirate ships. And then they would generally offload out here onto smaller boats, dhows, and bring them in and carry the goods up here. And the same, they carry the goods out here back. When the caravans would come in from the north and the west with frankincense, myrrh, and balsam, they would come to here. They would offload and then carry the packs inside. This was referred to as the Eye of the Needle that's mentioned in the Bible. And then this room here was the weigh, measure, and tagging room, where they'd measure it, they'd weigh it, they'd catalog all the goods, put a tag on it, then it'd go into a specific storeroom for identification for market or export. This is the frankincense fortress and warehouse at Ayan Humran, 1000 BC. That's Dawn right there when we were doing the One Gift film. You'll get to visit the Young Living Farm and Distillery and plant frankincense and sweet myrrh trees. The Young Living Distillery in Salalah. And our field, Young Living Farm in Salalah, Oman. Now, Mahmoud is pushing really hard. I was there a few weeks ago, met with the government. They're hoping to have everything in place so we can actually plant our first trees on the new farm that they have given Young Living. So there's still a lot of paperwork being processed. Cole is leaving next week to go over there and follow up on that as well. The Comifora gileadensis, known as the balm of Gilead, growing on the farm. You'll get to plant some of these as well. The frankincense flower and bloom in April when we're there. Unfortunately, the trees will be past the bloom stage, so you won't see this. But I took these pictures just 3 weeks ago. Isn't that magnificent?
Wow. What is that?
It's a trim.
That's the frankincense flower. This is the western coast of Oman. Very rugged. This is the road here. We probably will not get to this location because it's too far away, time-wise, for us to go here. But we will bring you to this location, which is very
That's where
similar.
you got off.
And this is just west of Salalah, about 45-minute drive. And it's on the way to the oldest tree, so you will get to see this. I'll also take you to visit Job's tomb. And many people are not aware that the prophet Job is buried in Oman, just up on the mountain out of Salalah. His tomb is 10 feet in length because they say that Job was a giant. And it's believed that's why he was exiled from Syria, from his home, because he was a giant. And he was tormented and hassled and ridiculed, and so he left and went to Oman to be with a new group of people, and of course went through all the experiences that you read about, and this is where he died and was buried. This is his footprint that was in the solid granite stone right here, or limestone. And they have built a cement tomb around it to protect it. But the story is, and you can see the toe marks here, and from the tip of the toe here to the heel, if my memory serves me correct, was 16 inches long. And the story is that when Job was being plagued so bad towards the last, that he got so angry at God that he just stomped his foot down and just screamed at God and said, if this is what's to be in my life, I'm finished, I'm through, I quit. You either heal me now or I die. And supposedly when he made that statement, when he stomped his foot and crushed the stone, and that footprint is still there. So anyway, it's quite interesting. Then we'll head to the mountains to cool off before returning home, because by the time we arrive there in April, temperatures will be starting to climb again.